There we go. Automatically shut off on me. 12 minutes. 12 minutes. So, gonna sharpen some new pencils. La, 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 la. You can hear the birds. Maybe I'll turn those copies off. Those birds up. All right. Got 3 brand new pencils I'm going to sharpen up here. Since we have time, 10 minutes. That should be enough time. Usually takes me about 2 minutes a pencil. Strangely enough, that's about the same length of smoking a cigarette. I don't smoke anymore. I sharpen pencils now. Much healthier and more productive habit. Oh. La, 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 la. La, la, la. Uno. 5:55. 5 more minutes. Definitely gonna have to clean my hands before we get started. Sandpaper's still working, but it's pretty black on both sides now. This one I'll make a needle point. There's no belly on this one. For when I'm drawing the eyes and stuff, it's real pointy. That'll use a wolf's carbon. All right, I'm gonna wash these bad boys before we get started. Proper wash in the sink. Get this show on the road. Hey, Dax. Dax Brown. Learn how to use our instruments. I'm also going to empty out my pockets today because I can feel them. You might see other YouTube videos, they call it EDC, everyday carry. Pocket knife, lighter, chapstick, and then seeing, actually my key ring's looking kind of small these days. My keys. I always got a hanky in one pocket because I've done that since high school, but the real reason is you can always use it, survival needs as well, but also a lot of places where you go and wash your hands in the bathroom have air dryers, and I hate air dryers. I like to be able to wipe, so I keep a hanky in my pocket, and of course, wallet, ID, all the other things. But it's nice to have all these things out of the pocket when you're sitting and working. Because they squish up on, you know, if you got tighter pants, and then if you're sitting on your wallet, you can kind of kill the nerves in your butt sometimes. Yeah, and I always have a big knife too. This one was from my best friend Ben. It says brothers. He gave it to me at his wedding when I was his best man, and it has seen better days. In fact, it's not sharp at all. So I don't know why I'm still carrying this one. But anyways, every Canada Day I like to buy myself a new, and have a wash. These are man things. But yeah, every Canada Day I like to buy myself a new knife, and I haven't in 2 years, but my birthday's coming up, so maybe it's time. So let's, Dax, I appreciate you just showing up. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. You train away, my friend. So we're going to get rid of this thing. We've got like 4 or 5 of these live streams remaining before Atelier Artista opens up for a live model in-person drawing training. And so this live stream will go by the wayside like this old ratty paper. I mean, look at, you can probably even see the difference of the yellowing of how old this one is to the newsprint I'll be drawing on today. Normally too, I would say use smooth newsprint, but I have some rough stuff still. I'm getting through a massive pile. I think Keith gave me like 500 sheets, so I'm getting through it. There's at least 10 on here, although I prefer 20. I want to have like a cushy surface to do my drawing. I already marked it up with my hand, so I think I'll switch this piece to the back. Let me show you the tools too before I get started. Man, I put the birds on loud today. The windows are open, and when I set the sound, outside my window is the air filtration system for C-Space. We have amazing air here. I can literally pour out turpentine which really stinks. And a minute or two later, the smell is gone. It's running like 600 parts per million as well. It gives me all sorts of stats. What? Are they all this dirty? And I can control it. So that's part of the good thing about it's an old building, but it's all new water, all new air. And I got the windows open, and that's not where the bird sound is coming from. Unfortunately, there's no nature up on the 4th floor here. But I like it, and it kind of can't have music because of the algorithm, so except for copyright-free music, which I found is usually the worst. Let me get to my image here. I've got 2 images today, and once again I'm using images that I got originally off Instagram. Croquis Cafe had posted these for free for people to use, I think at the beginning of this whole strange time in our lives. And so I'm assuming it's fair use. Their name is on it. It's of the model Saturn. And let me just get something up for you here. This beautiful model. Oh, I was going to put my roommate up too, just as a little joke, but it seems he's gone. So let's see if I can get this up. Okay. Where are you? Bam. And we're in. Okay. So last week we did a quick drawing of this model, and she was on this stool. Today I picked this one because it doesn't require censorship bars or anything. All the publicly offending areas of the human figure are covered. I'm gonna move this camera a little bit as well. I always center it, but then I realize I have to slide it over to make this work, which distorts a little bit, but hey, this will do. All right. I'm gonna start just by doing a lay-in, which will take 25 minutes. Pontomoro timing. Pontomoro being how long it takes to cook our tomato sauce. Right, I'll put it on this side this day. And I'm bringing up the picture. So you guys see a picture right here. I don't see anything yet that isn't like this big. So I gotta bring up mine. And that usually hides the chat. Gotta put the picture somewhere. So I don't know what kind of approach I'm gonna take today, but I'm feeling good. Maybe I'll do more gestural rather than plan this thing out. She's very scrunched together. There's kind of a bean shape that I could capture. I could do something really simple there. So let's try to work a different way today. In fact, her head's on this side, so I'm gonna actually move the timer over here. I'm just gonna draw what I think is I don't know, the outer shape. I'm just taking a guess here. That's probably a little lower. It's kind of like a bean shape. Maybe like that. I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna look at my image for a minute. Take it all in. Something that artists forget is that they race to draw, they're always wanting to be doing, but drink it in. Speaking of drinking it in, I'm on day 10 of my master cleanse. Last time I drew, I was on day 3. So I do this 3 times a year. So if you watched past live streams, you will have seen other streams where I was fasting. Day 10, so I'm almost halfway. Okay, let's first define a head size and shape. Let's use the size we have here. I'm actually going to take a quick measure before I commit. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a bit. 1, 2. Okay, I got enough room. Just making sure my head's not too big. It actually could be a little bit bigger. But I'm going to work top to bottom and not worry about my crosshair or anything like that this time. And because I have this room down here that I can use, I can make this still taller or shorter just based off the need. So I'm going to build it down, but I have kind of that bean shape there. So I might move the, maybe I'm going to take a chance to make the head slightly bigger. This is a cranial mass. I'm tutoring a student right now, and she's learning all about cranial masses. Robert Beverly Hale's great method for measurement. It's a fairly nice little circle there. And then I will cut where the front of the face, so between the brow down. The other place that I can do it is where I think the ear is, which if I sliced off the side of the head, I'd get this kind of shape. And that usually kind of lines up to the temple. And then the brow line, it's kind of like here. So you can see I've kind of described, this would actually be rounded to follow that sphere. And if I take quarters, that gives me my chin length. So my chin's going to live higher up than the mandible. Probably around somewhere there. Okay. So I've defined now a head length. Soften that a little bit. And let's find places we can move to find distances off the head length. I also want to check that my head length is also equal to my head width, plus there's some hair. We're good. The ear's going to live somewhere around there. Okay, get nice and boxy like that. What about our head thirds? 1, 2, 3. So I'll find where the nose is. Halfway between the brow and the chin. And that will give me the hairline. Those are our thirds. Forehead, cheek area. So top third, middle third, bottom third. From the nose to the chin, halfway. That'll be the underneath the bottom of the lip. And then there's thirds here too. Oh, looks like maybe I'll just start this with a portrait. Okay, we won't get caught up in that just yet. Or will we? Okay. So the shoulder and the trap comes off around here. Let's take a measurement. Head length. Well, we got a head length down to here is about the wrist. And if I were to drop a plumb, that wrist is straight below the chin. I can also take a head length from the mandible. That's about the shoulder, which is kind of where I already had it in my very, very, very loose shape, which is interesting because you'd be surprised how much feeling the line or, you know, just the guesswork is, and you can nudge it back and forth from there. Her center line falls just shy of the eye here. So if I look for a spot where the hair lines up, where the eyes, that's the neck pit. And we've got the collarbone going up to the acromion process. It's a little bit more steep than that, actually. So that gives us kind of the neck coming down like that. We could triangulate the shoulder down. Let me just take a measure. So from the head length here down is the other shoulder, which is where I've already signified it, so that's good. And I'm just checking my angle. Maybe it can go a little lower. And it falls within that where the cranial mass is vertically. Okay, piecing the puzzle together. The arm length from that wrist point is one head length. So that brings it to there, which is where the leg comes up. And you can see I've already ghosted that in there, so just feeling it is fairly accurate so far. We'll see. I'm also going to take a guess from the acromion process to the other side of that wrist. So maybe I'll take a measure of how long this leg is. So 2 to the trochanter. The trochanter lives here. 1, 2. That gives me the knee. Approximately. Some of this stuff I'm just eyeballing. Because that's what the training's for. So no structure being built today on this drawing. Just going for it. We'll deal with the problems as they arise. Let's draw a little circle for that achromium process. And straight down is where this arm is coming. Maybe we'll shrink this in a little bit. Looking at that negative space in there. It ends up being a lost edge, so I don't actually have to define it so much right now. Okay. Got stretched ears. And that's going to allow me to find out where this wrist turns. I like to go across the knuckles. So they're actually halfway through the thumb here. It's gotta be longer. And if this is the wrist, and this is the wrist, I'll make the hands the same length. There we go. Pinky goes past the shoulder. This finger goes past the shoulder. And these have a slight diagonal to them. It's all dark in here, so lost edge. This finger is straight down. All right, there's some hand shape. Hips in alignment with the shoulders. One head length down from this elbow and over is actually where that foot lives. I'll just double check that. The bottom of the foot lives. So the heel's somewhere up here. So I imagine there's like a line there. There we go. gonna match the angles I see. Like so. Fingers are about as long as the palm. The palm I've made square. Foot to head length. So hard not to draw the structure. And in alignment with the hip, the foot's coming out. Let's test this length. Yep, head length. Okay. share. All right, 13 seconds left. There's our quick land. And we're gonna take a little break. So let's do that. Right now. There we are. There we are. This is like, must be some serious ASMR, guys. The birds are so loud. Okay. So, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna build some structure into this head, or do some shading. And what I want to do is also check my widths. I feel like everything's a little wide. So I'm just gonna take the head length and put it across the hips. Yeah, so I'm gonna trim these in. Which is a constant issue for me, making things a little too thick. Maybe I'm like Robert Crumb, that's just how I like my ladies. A little bit thick. Like Rubens. Okay. That's just the failure of the eyes. I'm wearing contacts today, and I'm a little older in age, but when I wear contacts, I can't see up close to me. So I'm starting to be like, well, is this bifocal time? But you can't get bifocal contacts. Not that I know of. That would be wild, actually. So I need to slap on the reading glasses. I read without glasses at all. So, there we go. She's a little thinner. I'm going to just check the overall length. 1.5 of her shoulders. One. I might bring this one in a little bit more. That's better. Okay. I'm happier with that. The hands are small, but we'll worry about that later. So maybe I'll zoom in a little bit. Does that work? For the face. So you guys can see how that's planned out. Okay, still on the YouTube, good. Go a little tighter. Move this camera that's behind me. Okay. Hey, this is a one-man operation. What do you expect? Okay. We're good? We're good. We're good? We're good. A little bit further. A little bit further. Zoom in a little tighter. What the? How's that possible? Okay. Look, it might not be the same angle, but we're zoomed in. All right. So, let's just do a portrait here right now. She's tilting, so there is kind of a roundness to this brow. If you've taken my class, you've seen that I've actually constructed this shape for demos. So I'll do it as line work. So it kind of look like an airline instruction manual line work. We've got the bridge of the nose, the alar cartilage, and then her nose rounds in two planes, as all do. and then wraps underneath. We've got the nostril. Comes down to the wing. Often when drawing girls' portraits, it's better to soften these lines, have some more curvature. Now if we take the top of the head here and the bottom of the chin and figure out halfway, we can figure out this tilt of the eyes. More tilted like that. So whereas this is the eyebrow, this is going to be the eye line. One tear duct will be there. And the other is hidden behind here. So we have the eyelid, lid, and you can actually see the lower lid wrapping around the eye there. Cheek, like so. From that fold in the nose, we can see that shape there. Here's our lip, Cupid's bow, and then curves this way. Opposite of what your brain is telling you. There's like a roundness to the mouth here. Give our lips here. So if I go from the center of the brow through that nostril, I get the side of her mouth. A little bit of teeth showing here. As well. Bottom of the lip, bottom lip. Chin protrudes out. The lost edge here. Let's get this lower eye now. And that eyebrow starts around here, directly above the tear duct. It goes down about the angle I've already defined. Comes up a little bit at the end, due to plucking. My eye is nearly the length of the nose. And from the tear duct, I might raise this eyebrow a little bit higher up actually. I need some room for the upper lid. If only were that easy on your face. Okay, so tear duct goes up, comes crashing down. the upper lid. It's a shadow here. The bridge of the nose. The squaring off of the shadow in the nose here. And then below we have the cheek. And you can go from the top of the ear to the side of the mouth. I mean, this isn't how I always draw, but this is how we're doing it today. It's always, you have to give yourself a little process of discovery, I think. If you just start to operate like a robot, it's not that interesting. And you don't learn new things. I drew this a different way than you've seen in the past, just to keep it interesting for myself as well. I don't want to, like, I want to train in an approach so that I have consistency, but I don't want to be held down by that same approach. So we'll give her more edge by rounding the jaw this way. If you want to make someone look really old, you drop it here. Look at that, I just added 20 years to this girl's face. Jowly. So if I take that angle, the ear lines up from the nose to the brow. I can't see all that. It's covered in hair. But you need to know where those structures are, because you'll have to draw up to there. The ear goes in and it comes back out. Giant gauge hole. The hair goes through that. Antihelix. And that'll be where the shadow lives. Describe some direction of hair. I'm kind of looking at just the highest contrast parts when I do that. Those crows, if you hear them, those are real crows outside my studio. Hey, Keith's here too. Ophelia, Keith, Mr. Harry. Hi guys. I think my girl, because I've emphasized his nose a little much, looks more like Barbara Streisand right now. Let's get that neck in. There we go. That's going to have a shadow going across the neck is this way. That's where if she had an Adam's apple, that's where it would be. Fortunately, we're saying she, so she does not have an Adam's apple. Just going to follow these shadow shapes, which define this collarbone. All of this can be toned. So guys, I'm amazed I'm here right now actually doing this. I never expected to be this busy. The work that I've been doing with Metro Graphics is quickly coming to an end. We got to ship everything out at the end of the month. So I've been doing 12, 14-hour days still. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it too because I haven't eaten solid food in 10 days, but I'm feeling fantastic while I do it. Should just be sleeping here really. But things are looking good. I got Jeff and Bobby lined up with classes. Stuff's getting listed, but it won't be purchasable until August 31st when registration begins. But I actually, going back to doing all this work that I hadn't done in so many years, 1 year actually, I'm getting pretty excited about drawing from real life again. So in no time I'll be booking models. Okay. This might be a lot ASMR today. Her hair kind of travels in this angle. I did shorten her nose quite a bit, but I think this shadow, this cast shadow, will give that illusion a little bit more depth. And I always say the top lip is always in shadow, but here's a case where it is not. Light's coming at her like this, so it's actually catching the light. Still not white, but I've been listening to this inspirational guy, David Goggins. He's like a military guy and a runner, and thinking I was born to run now. Of course, winter approaches. So that might be a little bit difficult. But the guys I work for are both marathon runners, so they kind of been talking me into it. I think it's a good idea. Just darkening where the hair is. This will become a black. I might erase out some lights of the hair as well. Just got to build it up for a while. Maybe just draw a negative shape by the ear. Oh, hey. I have to set a timer. Let's do that now. Let's go for a 25. Pontomoro timing. We will be training for that when we're back in the studio, so get used to it. Get used to it now. Luke's going to be back doing the short pose. So I'm going to try to torture myself a little bit this semester if I'm not working. That Conte wasn't drawing as dark as I'm used to. Maybe a bunk. Maybe it was made on Friday. You really get a feel for this, and then when it changes, it kind of throws you off. Sometimes I'll be lazy and not sharpen my pencils properly, and then I wonder why my drawing's not going very well. Don't be lazy. That's what that's saying to me. Darken these shadows a little bit as well. I left some of the structure in the face that was used for teaching, not necessarily how I would actually go about always doing the drawing, you know. Might put some white in these eyes with my erasing pencil from Japan. I like to circle specular light, like give it its own shadow. I think it's a really nice effect. Sometimes I do it just on one side on the bottom of the nose as well, to help that little bit of that nose light pop. Okay. Let's clean up a little bit. Alright, we won't spend too much time there. I have 2 drawings queued up, but I think I'll just do one tonight and end it at that. We'll see. I've got other painting I need to do as well. Hey, Greg's here too. Thanks, guys. Appreciate your support. Everyone watching means a lot. I wanted to make this channel grow, but soon there will be no live stream. I'm stoked about that. I've gained a new skill, which is talking to myself. Not a skill I thought I would need to develop. Put in some lights. I'll just draw around some of them to make them pop a little more. Okay. That hair's good enough for now, I think. Maybe a little bit more up here. Take out some construction lines and tone towards the face. So this is the darkest light now. Highlight on the nose. Filtrum. The lip. Bottom lip's a little shiny. A little on the chin. Okay. It's a shame that I ripped that paper. Oh, and there's light on this cheek here. Darken this eyebrow. Alright, we'll color face down for now. Maybe done completely. And I'm going to zoom back out. Hope you guys like that okay for where it's at. Maybe even erase up this ear a little bit more too. Bring it brighter into the lights. Alright. Zooming back out. Zoop. Zop. Alright. Get this stand back where it was. Really? Wow, it's really far behind me now. What has changed? I think it's just the angle that changed, guys. Let me get it. I'm gonna turn these birds down too. There we go. Okay, I think that's suitable. Killing me over here, birds. So loud. What was I thinking? Well, the chiller isn't on because it's not summer anymore, it seems. Alright, just gotta get the model picture set back up and so I can see the chat. I appreciate all the chats, guys. Let's switch pencils here. Maybe I'll do a fall of light. So it goes from dark to light up. So I'm just gonna start and make the fall of light. So just putting tone down. This will become a lot darker down here. Skin isn't white. And as it gets further and further from the lights get darker. This isn't even shadows. Like, we might remove some of this, but I'm just trying to get a little color on our skin. And since the head is pretty much done, I think it might be nice to just start drawing in the shadow shapes. I got 14 minutes left, so this is, you know, get the shadow shapes in, I figure, Oh, that looks a little low. The chromio process. This is actually the collarbone. Down the deltoid, between the hands. Which makes me think I should change this hand a little bit. Like that. There's a shadow traveling the arm of the finger. You pull it a little further out. Down the bicep. Kind of curls in where that fold is. All of that's dark. So I'm going to just squint my eye and just draw that shape. This like duck shape in here. So I'm not drawing her body, I'm drawing the negative space, the dark. A little bit more abstract, but and soften. The dark meets the light. Except maybe this cash out is a little bit harder. Make the core darker and draw in the arm folds back. Alright, so that's good. Always go dark to light, just like in painting. In a way, drawing is the training for the painting. Below the chin here, we have this dark shadow that helps us explain how the neck is going back. So a little bit there. Okay. Good. It's a little bit lighter there. So that thumb lines up to the neck pit and this shadow here. So I'm moving it down. So I'm actually just drawing its shadow. Now. This arm fold as a shadow onto the bicep. All here, this triangle shape, it's really dark. Move it up a little bit, maybe. Got to make this wrist the same length, so if I pull that down a little bit, it's a little bit better. Elbow shadow along the hard edge of the olecranon or olecranon. Still not sure how I want to pronounce that. I've heard it different ways, and I kind of like things to sound, when you're using Latin, to sound like death metal. It's cooler. It's actually a lost edge there, so I'm just gonna blur it out a little. And then erase. Okay. Let's go for drawing this sun. Why not? Shadow, knuckle. The tendon. Another tendon over the bone there. So I'm not going to take a break in 5 minutes, I doubt it. Because I'm having fun. Okay, so from this thumb, it's diagonal, cast shadow, across the chest plate, softens up as it crosses the chest, about across where the nose is, down, across the pec as it's going up into the arm there. And from below, that wrist turn, which has a slight highlight. Well, it's a reflected light, but just pull it out a little bit. And then this gets a little bit darker. Sure. Curve track is all that's about Harry. Keeps the studio feeling alive. Uh-huh. One knuckle right along the arm, one sort of in the middle, and then the pinky goes out. I hope that seeing the work ethic here inspires you to keep up on your journey of art. It's never ending, and there's always something to learn, which keeps it interesting. It's probably well suited to most of our temperaments. I've chosen this path, and it's too late to turn back. Not that I would. There's that finger going up. Then it turns. And it has a cast shadow underneath it. The knuckles. Just dawned on me that I think when I get off this cleanse, what I want to eat is sushi. Sushi might be my first meal. There's this great place in Mission, and they actually have the real wasabi, which is kind of sweet and not spicy. Like the stuff you normally are eating is more like horseradish that's dyed green. And they chop it on the traditional shark skin, or they put on the shark skin to get it to kind of a paste. And they bring out these little oysters on this wooden box with coals in it, and they smoke right at your table. You know, I've done these cleanses so many times for the last 20 years that it's the mental game, and I got that down. I can actually watch Food Network when I'm fasting. In fact, I want to, because I miss food so much. I miss preparing it. I really like being part of that, what I'm eating. So I get it by watching food porn late into the night. Look at that, actually drawing the fingers in there this early in the game. Just moving down. I like it, I like it. Alright. There's a cast shadow. Now, it's kind of flat here. That's because the front of the forearm is pretty flat. It's not cylindrical here, like it is further back. So let's emulate that. Flat, flat. And then it falls up to the knuckle. I think I might have made the hands a little too small, but we'll see when we're done. I don't care, this is practice. Clean up the edges. Don't rip the paper next time. Cast shadow. Into her where her belly button is. Soften that edge. Okay. Moving across. Down her traps to her shoulder. And then across where the thumb is. So it looks to me like I'm gonna bring this in a little bit as well. Might change the hands. Risky business just drawing hands like this. But let's do it. Why not? Without great risk, right? Great reward. So I'll make the thumb end there. Sort of causing the shadow to begin. More hard-edged. Is this relaxing to listen to, anyone? Just a guy talking to himself. Is this like a useful skill? Am I a YouTube influencer yet? Nope. Nope, not yet. I'm apolitical. I don't think arts need to be. Some artists are. Keep that to your life, you know? Your friends' discussions. Speaking of which, actually, my birthday's coming up and I was thinking that I would book out a paintball field and invite people to come have... I'll wear all white, so I'll be an easy target. But I kind of want to play tag at a distance with all my acquaintances and friends. It'll be a Sunday, September 12th. If anyone's into it, I'd like to know, because I think I have to book for 10. I think that's the only way to get the range to yourself. We can go shoot each other for a couple hours. I know that that's what I would want to do. There's also airsoft, but I think that hurts more. So we're about halfway, time-wise, and almost halfway through this body as well. So a little bit of light hitting here. And where the wrist intersects the bicep, cast shadow that curves. That curvature explains the roundness of the arms. So it's good to emphasize that. I know it looks very straight in the reference, but we have to use our artistic abilities to describe things a little more fully. At first you're just kind of trying to copy. Then you make these subtle enhancements as you go. Hopefully. You kind of have to know where to put those things. You know, it's a language. Like, you got to learn how to speak that language, which is what we do here. This whole thing's in shadow. One finger. Pinky curls up. Almost looks diamond shaped here. Some veins. Sometimes you got to put the material down and then erase the veins out and then put some more material back down. To make them look round like they're popping. A few steps to the process. Because the shadows are in between the veins. Veins and tendons. Veins, tendons are the straight lines. Veins are the curvy lines. Okay, that was fun. Now this lower half, it's more simplistic, so it won't take as long. There's no face, there's no hands, which will make life much easier. Anyone still with me? Anyone? I'm gonna curl my tone with the shape of the leg. And it's okay if it's a little basket woven or lines, because it directs the eyes in explaining the form. Now I get to sharpen my pencil. Right? That tells the viewer it's turning. It's turning this way. Ophelia's here. Thank goodness. I'm not just talking to myself. But you're not even drawing tonight. Boo. Do something though. Doing something. No one's just watching this. This would put you to sleep if you just watched it only. I always like to have media on when I work, but not music. Music kind of, I mean, music's okay, I guess, for painting. But I actually like to hear people speaking. So, Audible, or I'll listen to hours and hours of my YouTube playlists. Heck, I'll put on Duck Dynasty. It's like having voices on makes me shut my brain off. Maybe that's why I'm able to talk while I draw, because the sound, although it does trip me up. I'm not gonna lie, it does trip me up, because I feel like I lose my words. Okay. So I'm gonna pull up from this dark and I'm gonna curve it a little bit. There's a line that kind of goes across here. It's more flat there, the IT band. And then we have this dark, dark, dark shadow from the heel. So it means there must be some bounced light going this way. Boy, I gotta order some smooth newsprint. Probably better get on that. Buy a whole bunch for the school. I don't have a lot of money, so I don't want to tie it up, but smooth newsprint is just so much nicer to draw on. And smudge with. Smudge with. That's like a bad guy's name in Harry Potter. Smudge with. Smudge wort. Okay, from the arm to the knee, I should take this knee back a little bit. It's a little far out. Far out. Dude. Dude. There, that's a good knee structure. Tight tendon. So the core shadow goes up on this little bulge. Bulge comes down to here. Things are getting darker now as we go down, except like the back of the heel, just catching light. There's color as well that creates that darker value. Ankle. And pretty much underneath the pressed gastrocnemius, the calf muscle here, I'm going to go soft. Nice flat tone there. Pads of the foot are dark. All the models have dark pads on their feet in my studio because the floor is always covered in charcoal dust. So that's not really the case here. Little pinky toe. It's a beautiful warm golden color bouncing off her leg up into the underside here. Whenever I see those things when I'm drawing, I'm like, oh, I wish I was painting, because you just don't get that color sensation. Getting close. Thanks, Ophelia. I think it looks pretty good. Myself. She's turning out. Big arc. There's my wrist there. The knee turns in the horizontal alignment with that foot. So that's, you know, I always look for those parts of the puzzle. And then I think, why have I spent my lifetime trying to get good at this one thing? In fact, this wasn't actually my plan. I didn't know I was going to be a figurative artist at all. It developed into that. I guess it kind of, what you do is drawn to you. When I was younger, I guess I kind of drew comic books and stuff, but not to this level of wanting to represent the beauty of the human form. And all the great creators' awesomeness in the design and beauty of the human form. It's just pretty much perfect. I mean, there are things. There are things. There are some weird things in our body, internally, that don't make any sense, but like tonsils, and they don't look pretty. Luckily, that's not the type of artist I am. I'm not doing medical illustration. Though one of my students, Denise, went on to that, moved to Toronto after training here. I believe she's doing that for a living now. Medical illustration, because stuff, you know, they can't just take pictures of cadavers. Stuff still needs to be drawn to be described. Like a virus. It's all drawn. When you see those images, you know? A lot of times it's in computer now, but still drawn. Computer didn't really solve all the problems. Like, you can't be a good drawer just because you draw on the computer. A lot of digital art looks like crap. I mean, you can get some shortcuts there for sure. But you still got to learn your fundamentals and practice them. I think I made this cap too big. Luckily it's in the dark. So after this drawing, I gotta work for a few more hours. Painting, and then tomorrow morning, back at my animation camp. It's been quite the haul lately. But can't miss practice if it's possible, right? I just look back at my drawings from when I first opened the Atelier. I mean, opening this place really afforded me the opportunity and forced me to have to practice. And you guys out there, it's got to be hard because you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it at all if you don't want to. For me, I placed myself in the position where I have to. I could give up the night. Sometimes Keith covers for me. But still, just by putting something into the schedule, bit of wisdom just hit me. I'm always having problems getting my workout in or my meditation. I mean, I put it in the schedule, sort of, but if I really forced it on myself, I mean, I even bought workout equipment to bring to the studio. It's because I don't want to do it. Whereas when I went to martial arts class for all those years, you know, having the group dynamic, just like an art class, kind of motivates you to show up and do the work. And for a lot of people, I think, without the art school being open, the feedback that I get or the emails tells me that they want back because they need that space. They won't do it at home, you know. I'm looking forward to having everyone back in here. I don't think I'm gonna draw the legs of the chair. I don't know. I guess I can't really avoid it. There's a nice wood grain on them. Can play with that. Alright, back to this foot. It's only 8, but we're so close. This is kind of like the downhill slide. It's hump day. Also, I changed the, we're gonna try a different time for a figure. Gonna go 6:30 to 9 this semester. See how it goes. I want to get home a little earlier. It was always too late and too hard for me. And I had a lot of people say they couldn't come because it went too late. And I had some people come, but always leave early. So hopefully this is a happy medium that pleases the most amount of people. Everyone can get their meal in first. See how the transit goes. For those who need that. Can't please them all, I'm learning. One toe, saddle, 2 toes, knuckles, 3rd toe, pinky toe. Okay. I'm not gonna leave it like that. Shader in. Okay. Sometimes I like have all these intentions of stuff to talk about, and then I just get into the drawing and all this fades away. Only for entertainment purposes too, right? Because I know some of you just maybe are listening. I don't know. I'm not saying anything divisive, I know that. I don't need YouTube taking this down like they have in the past. Very annoying. There are some good sessions there that got lost. But at the same time, those who attended got the benefits. Okay. I am going to take a small break. Get a fresh eye on these things. So enjoy. Hey, thanks. Enjoy some. There we go. I don't know if that's the right angle, but there she is. We'll do a side-by-side comparison at the end here. Because we can. We have the technology. Hey, Dax made it back. All right. Okay. You made it back in time for a break. Triangle stars. Let's go with these guys. And we're back. Okay. Good, good, good. I guess we'll do the old, you know what? This thing needs to be signed. I'm gonna cut it early tonight because I've got to work some extra hours tonight. So I'm gonna call this finished. Oh wait, this tragic rip. We need to take care of that. Try not to get your fingers on the clear tape. When I was a kid, I loved all like that spy stuff and Carmen Sandiego. And I just remember like you could go around your house with clear tape and figure out whose fingerprints are on the fridge. Now, the funny thing is, my brother and I were only raised by our mom, so it's a real mystery when I figured that out. And MacGyver, he used to like take those prints and then dip his finger in wax and then press the print and then he could like get indoors and stuff. Oh, and here's the other funny thing. She's like, it's like she's looking up at the timer. I realized that when I step back, how silly that looks. So there's our piece. Oh yeah, sign it. Do what you say you're gonna do, Bunny. Always make sure to spell your name right. August 25th, 2021. How is it already August? How is it already 2021? Unbelievable. I'm gonna tilt the camera up. We'll do a little side by side. My preview on my computer is not working, so I can only open the image in Photoshop today. Which means I probably can't get it then the exact size, unfortunately. No. Darn it. Well, we're not going to worry as much about that then. If we can't control it, we can't do anything about it. C'est la vie en français. And tilting up we go. Where I stop, hopefully in the right place. Whoop. Whoop, whoop. Now's your chance to get your comments in before this stream is ended. There's our reference. I'm just gonna move my little art cart. There it goes there. Making old man sounds here. It's been a long day. And we will take this off. Paper. And pin it up. Oh, gotta have some more paper behind it. Thanks for the comment. I've got a whole collection of psychedelic mushroom shirts. Just in general. Okay. Not the same scale, obviously, but let's get back up a little bit here. This is the makeshift part of the production. Here are models. Oh, she's got a tattoo right there on her leg. I never noticed. I'm not going to add that. My slope's a little off too. Let me stand back. Let me stand back and look. I didn't really back off. When I have the... Wow, that is a lot bigger. Yeah, didn't quite get it with that shoulder. The hands are too small. The head's not quite tilted back enough. And I don't think the arm is long enough either. Anyhow, I'm just being picky. It's good enough. It's good enough for today. It's good enough for practice. I just want to thank you for joining me. I always appreciate seeing your comments. Back there. Just knowing that you guys are out there It's very supportive. Believe me, I'm talking to myself for 3 hours. I start to think I'm going a little bit crazy, which is the artist way, really. I spend a lot of time in the studio by myself, so I should be good at talking to myself. But I just want to thank you for coming. Hope you come back again. I think we got 4 more of these, maybe 5. Then the Atelier will open again September 27th, and the first figure drawing will be the 28th, short pose. Luke will be here hosting that. And then Wednesday night, our first live model here, long pose. I'm excited. We'll see how rusty everyone is, because drawing from photo is not the same. So although I've practiced and improved, it might not translate. So I just appreciate you guys coming every Wednesday, 6 till 9. The time for live drawing will be 6:30 to 9:30. It's not a beautiful number. We used to go 7 till 10, which I did it because it looked nice on a poster, but it alienated some people who I think could really take advantage of an earlier time. Plus, I got to do the cleanup after, and I like to get home and in bed by 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm an early riser, so hopefully it works out. If it doesn't, we'll go back to the way it was in the new year. Shout out to Croquis Cafe. They gave a free image way back when, and I got to use it today. Take advantage of things like that when you don't have a library of models of your own. Thank you, Saturn, for your inspiration and beauty. And you guys out there in Digital Screenland, you can check out the past videos on the archive if you haven't already. Hopefully this one makes it. There's no reason to censor this one. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share it with people. The comments really help too. All of that with this YouTube algorithm makes me not fall to the bottom. I got a lot of other friends making art videos, and they're doing better than me, but they're not better artists and they're not cooler. So what's up with that? Help me out. And I think that's it for this week. I will see you guys next Wednesday. I will still be on a cleanse on that day. That will make 17 days. So I'll start to be losing it probably, which is great. And should be entertaining. So I'm going to get back to the studio. It is crammed full. I'm like walking around stuff like this. I'm going to do a little pan because it's seriously, I never imagined it would be this insane. I want you guys to see what I'm dealing with. My desire for big open spaces, organization, and cleanliness. This is completely the opposite of that. It's driving me crazy. But everything that I'm working on will be shipping out, maybe not all of it, but most of it will be shipping out Monday. So have a look, because it'll never look like this again. And if you feel like seeing it in person, you're welcome to drop by. Whenever the doors open here at the Atelier, you're welcome to come in. I got an open door policy when it's open. So let's see the room. Sorry if this is joggy. Okay. So I got stuff on tables over there. That's the model stand. It's got one of the UNP pieces I'm working on. This topographical map. That's for the Inuit in Ukiksilik, Nunavut. Like there's a table of crap at the back. All our classroom furniture stacked up. Down here is a topographical map and all the paint on a table for Waterton. That's going out. Painting I still haven't finished. It's got wheels. So this little path here, there's plywood and it's pressed up against my bench. There's a chair. I had to move it just to set up the life drawing situation tonight. 2 more topographical maps. And these are huge. That table back there was worth like $3,000. I'm learning a lot working with these commercial guys, and then the shipping crates. So there's a little bit of floor space here. And this is the setup where I put the camera right behind me, and more shipping boxes by the door. So I'm not sure if that translates well in the camera, how crammed it is. I can't wait for all of this to be over. But it got used here right at the end to good measure. Here's the setup. Laptop. drawing board. So yeah, that's me. And that's the studio right now. We got new signage. I got new business cards. Things are looking up. It's Virgo season and I'm a Virgo. I like that. I like this time of year. I like the cool air. I like the rain. I like making art. And I love school season, so I can't wait to get back to school again. That's it for me, guys. Ciao for now.